watching a video a couple of days ago and it featured Alvin Plantinga, or Plantinga, is that how it's pronounced? I don't know. But anyway, he was talking about atheism and saying that kind of modern atheism, as exemplified by the usual suspects, the four horsemen, is not as strong, he seems to be suggesting, as the kinds of atheism that were around 50 years ago. And it struck a chord with me, really, because I'm reading a book on atheism right now that was written in the early 60s by a French writer, a Catholic Christian writer. And it's a kind of an attack on the atheisms that were present really the second half of the 20th century, and looking at some of the philosophical underpinnings for that atheism, which I think is the ones that Plantinga is talking about. Because of course the modern versions of atheism, the new atheisms that's exemplified by Dawkins, Dennett and Harris and Hitchens, has been very, very successful, and I really like their stuff for the most part, particularly in two areas, particularly in the areas to do with truth claims, challenging religion where it makes truth claims that are either in practice or in principle can be challenged by empirical science. It seems to me that any religion that makes truth claims which are clearly demonstrably wrong has got no credibility, really. So I think they've been very successful in challenging truth claims and also challenging the political impact of religion and arguing for secular societies, which is again very successful, I think. There are problems where religious belief comes in direct contact and conflict with governance, really, doesn't it, in politics, particularly in multicultural societies and societies where there's more than one religion or an absence of a religion in place, which is pretty much all of them, really. So I think in those two areas, truth claims and effective religion on politics, the new atheists have been very successful. I don't think they've taken on, it's not in their remit really, to take on the kind of philosophical challenges of religion. Because certainly from this book I was looking at, and I'll provide the title in the description of this video, he's really talking about the kinds of atheism that come out of Nietzsche, Marx, Hegel, and then on to people like Sartre, the existentialists, which is a really substantial attack against religion, and an attack at a philosophical level rather than a political level or a level of what constitutes knowledge and truth. And that isn't often talked about, really. And the kinds of antitheism, if I can borrow that phrase, which is prevalent, certainly on YouTube, tends to be an anti-theism, quite justifiably anti-theist in relation to, as I say, truth claims and to the impact of religion on politics. And those are, very good reasons to be politically or empirically anti-theist. But that's different to a kind of philosophical anti-theism. I'm not sure if it makes any sense to be philosophically anti-theist, but you could certainly make challenges to theist philosophies, if I can call them that, by countering it with other kinds of philosophies or challenging it in terms of its internal consistency, all kinds of things. So I do think there's still space for a lot of theist, atheist, anti-theist discussion at the level of philosophy, which for the most part doesn't happen in the public forum, and certainly doesn't happen very much on YouTube from my experience.